I'm James Lynch, and this is my stock report for UFC 328, taking a look at the biggest winners and losers from the event. I just finished up doing the Cage Titans card. That's why I'm all dressed up here. So we'll do our best. This isn't going to look as cool as I normally do, but if you see my computer screen here, hopefully you can see this. Okay, yeah, this isn't going to look great, but we'll do our best. Biggest stock riser on this card. Whether you thought he won the fight or not, it's got to be Sean Strickland, defeating Khamzat Chimaev in the main event. Plus 330 underdog. I saw he was even bigger on some other books here. I mean, I don't know how you can't say Sean's not the biggest stock riser. Two-time middleweight champion. It's still crazy for me to think. If we go look at the stats here, I'll try and bring these up as I'm trying to hold the camera. Again, apologies for the weak computer screen share. I could have just done this on my computer, but it's going to be faster if I just do this video. So if we go look at the fight itself, Strickland did outland Chimaev. 123, if you can read there. Whoops, I don't know, let's see if the zoom there. 123 to 312 as far as the strikes. Chimaev getting 9 of 13 takedowns, so very good performance there from Strickland. You can see the round by round. If you look at the first round, not a whole lot going on there. That was all Chimaev, and then you can see in the red is Chimaev. But you can see Strickland ahead in round 3, although I think Chimaev won that round personally. And then you had round 4 and round 5 as well round 4 was Chimaev's, round 5 you can see going to Sean Strickland. And round 2 going to Sean Strickland as well. So very close fight. If you look at MMA decisions right now, I don't know if you can read that. You can see majority. Actually, he was pretty much split down the middle here. So I actually thought there was going to be more Chimaev. Again, not the greatest view there. Let me come back here. Again, Strickland is the middleweight champion. It's still weird. Still hasn't hit me yet that Strickland did pull this off because no one gave him a chance, right? I mean, we knew it was going to be a different style matchup than DDP, but he gets it done. I personally thought that Chimaev won. Now, keep in mind, as I'm watching this fight, because we had it on in the back, we're also watching Cage Titans, so I didn't maybe get the best viewing ever. This is definitely a fight I'm going to have to go back and watch again. But yeah, Sean Strickland has to be the biggest stock riser because, again, he did it again, right? He beat Israel Adesanya to win the middleweight title. He beats Chimaev. Pretty incredible what Strickland's done. So Strickland, obviously the biggest stock riser. Okay, second biggest stock riser on this card. I'll zoom back here again. Some people might go a different direction on here, but I'm going to go with Sean Brady. Sorry, guys. Trying to make this look cool. Just a dominant win over Joaquin Buckley. And obviously we knew the style matchup for Buckley not the best in terms of him already losing to a wrestler. But there was the thought that Buckley could maybe knock out Brady. But Brady, he shut him down. If we go look at the stats for that fight, sorry again for it not looking super great on here. But if we go look at the significant strikes and everything else, I'm just waiting for this to load. It's taking a second here. Okay, well, that's loading. There we go. So if you go look at the actual strikes here with Sean Brady and Joaquin Buckley, 77 to 5. I don't know if you guys can see that. 77 significant strikes compared to just 5 for Buckley. Buckley had no answers in this fight, so very big win there for Brady. He's back in the saddle. Of course, did get knocked out by Michael Morales in his last fight, but I think in general, he's right back in the contender spot. And Buckley now back-to-back losses. It's pretty evident he's not really a contender in this weight class anymore. You got to be more competitive than he was against Sean Brady. So Brady, second biggest stock riser, and we'll talk about Buckley a little bit later. And third biggest stock riser, look, I know it was a bit controversial with the stoppage. That certainly has followed Van with him winning via Panto. Joshua Van, is the third biggest stock riser on this card. He retains the belt. One of the best flyweight title fights we've seen of all time. Very impressed with what Van was able to do here tonight. Again, I thought the stoppage was a little bit early, but Van's the man, and he's now the champion. A lot of people thought that Tyra was going to win this. He ends up as a slight favorite here at minus 160. Van was the underdog here. Did get taken down in this fight, but I thought overall, the striking was there. He hurt Tyra in this fight too, right? I thought he almost had that. I think it was the second round or third round. I can't remember. But look at the difference in strikes here. 131 to 55. Pretty incredible there for Joshua Van, who ends up retaining his title, taking out Tatsuro Taira. I'll do a couple honorable mentions on here as I look at my list. Got to talk about Alexander Volkov. He gets the decision win over Waldo Cortez Acosta. He has got to be next, I would think, for the winner of Cyril Gane and Alex Pereira. Very good win over there over Waldo. He was favored, but still, I thought that performance was great. Yaroslav Amosov taking out Joel Alvarez, getting the submission in that one. in the what round was it? Second round. Takes out Joel Alvarez. He was favored, but again, type of win you need. Amosov, looking great since coming over from Bellator. Really like what he's doing. And then third biggest star, another honorable mention we'll put on here is Grant Dawson. He had a fairly close fight odds-wise against Rembecki. Obviously, Dawson coming off the knockout loss to Manel Torres. He goes out there, he gets the win over, and he gets the finish too. He gets a third round submission. That was kind of something with Dawson for a lot of his fights. He goes goes the distance. So for him to get a finish here, very big deal there for Grant Dawson, so he gets it done. He'll get an honorable mention here. Okay, let's go with our stock droppers. Biggest stock dropper for me, people may disagree on this one, but it's got to be Khamzat Chimaev. Now, the reason I think he's the biggest stock dropper here, again, there's a case, I can live in a world here where you think that Chimaev beats Strickland. I don't have a problem with that. That's not why he's the biggest stock dropper. It's just the invincibility he had. He beats DDP decisively. There was just a high expectation for Chimaev going into this fight. He was a huge favorite, minus 440. I didn't see really anyone picking Strickland here. And again, we saw the scorecards there. There were half the media thought that Chimaev won this fight. But even if he won this fight, I still think his stock goes down a bit because he was supposed to run over Strickland, and it didn't happen. And I think this invincibility from Chimaev that was just, a lot of people felt after the DDP fight. It's like, who is going to beat him? Well, Strickland gets it done. And again, even if Strickland lost this fight, he still gave Chimaev a tough test. And it's probably unfair to Chimaev that he's got this high standard of being like invincible and taking everyone out, but his stock still goes down, I think, regardless, because this was supposed to be, quote unquote, an easy fight for him. If you look at most of his fans, they thought it was going to be an easy win. He doesn't end up getting that in this fight. And again, the stats even back this up a bit, whether you thought he won or not. I mean, the fact that, that's the wrong one there. The fact that Strickland outlands him 123-98, that in itself, I think, shows as well that Chimaev stock's down. So Chimaev, biggest stock dropper in my opinion. However, I would be willing to listen to a Joaquin Buckley big stock drop because Buckley now with this loss has got back-to-back losses now, 2 fights where he gets out-wrestled, pretty dominantly against Usman and Brady. And it's not like he's super young. He's 32 now. It's kind of what you see is what you get. He's struggling with wrestlers, and this is becoming a theme with Buckley. So if you wanted to say he's the biggest stock dropper, that's fine with me, especially with him having 2 losses. But I would argue Chimaev's stock dropped more because Chimaev was considered one of the best ever and invincible and all this stuff. Buckley didn't really have that. He was coming off a loss. So I put Buckley at number 2. And then if you want to go to number 3, stock dropper here as well, there's a couple different ways you could go on this one. For me, though, if we're looking at kind of, odds and all that stuff, it's got to be Tyra. Again, I thought he had a good fight. Again, it was a very memorable fight, but the reality is he was a betting favorite in this fight. He ends up losing. His stock has to go down because he didn't end up winning the title. Even if the stoppage was not bad in this fight, it was debatable who's going to win that one. But unfortunately, he doesn't have the belt. He's got to be my 3rd biggest stock dropper on this card because I'm kind of looking at this list here. Like most of the favorites won here today, right? I don't think there's any super surprises. I guess Tulio we got to put on there too, although I picked Kopylov in the preview show, so Kopylov should have probably got an honorable mention on stock riser here. But yeah, Tulio was, what type of favorite was he here? I'd be willing to accept that one. Yeah, he was minus 180, not super big favorite here, but certainly am okay with an argument with Tulio being on this list too. But I think that's it. I think that those were sort of the big names here on this card. Maybe, Rebecca was an underdog. Alvarez was an underdog. Stevens was an underdog. Man, did Stevens not look good tonight, getting submitted in the first round. Just to quickly recap here. Stock riser, Sean Strickland, Joshua Van, and Sean Brady, or I'd go Brady then Van. I thought Brady had a pretty dominant performance in his fight. Honorable mentions go to Volkov, Amosov, and Grant Dawson, and then your stock droppers would have to be Joaquin Buckley, Khamzat Chimaev, and Tatsuro Taira, and Tulio. We'll add Tulio as an honorable mention there. So let me know in the comments. I think this is pretty obvious on this one, but you guys can agree or disagree. And let me know, did you think that Chimaev deserved the win in the title fight? Let me know that as well. Again, I got a long day of traveling tomorrow, so I'm heading right back home. But I wanted to do this before I went to bed because, again, I was trying to get the stock report up on Sundays. And technically on the East Coast right now, it is Sunday. It's about 1:30 in the morning. So I got to go shower and then catch a flight here in a couple hours. So I'll talk to you guys later. I will be doing the preview show on Monday. This is the stock report, I guess, hotel edition, coming to you here and on my portable camera. Hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Take care.